Hi there, my name is Wayne Headland, and in this screencast, I'm going to show you how to create a slider for a page, your front page, or any page for all that matters, using the Story theme, the Story WordPress theme. So if you're not using the Story WordPress theme, there is no need for you to watch this. And Story has made it really quite simple to be able to create sliders. So first thing we want to do is, of course, create a page, which I have already done. I've created a page I'm just calling test slider page. And now I'm actually going to just go to a different tab, and we're going to scroll down the bottom here. If you look at the story right here, now I don't want to just click story up here. That's going to take me to story options. I want to click down here, not click, even mouse over, and we'll see a bunch of different selections that I can select here. And there's actually three different kinds of sliders. I'm going to talk to you about content slider, and I'm going to go ahead and select content slider. And you'll find the other sliders work very similar to this slider. Now, the first thing is this going to be a slider that's going to be just like this shows here, the default slider? It's going to be the front page slider? Fine. But let's say you already had some front page sliders that you had already created, and you want to create a new slider for a new page. I can click this default button if I want, this default link, and it's going to go ahead and close this, and you'll see I have no other sliders selected. And I'm going to select this button, Add New Content Slider. We're going to give this a slider. We'll call this Test Slider. We're going to select Add. And now you'll see we have the test slider. Now I'm going to just minimize it here so you can see here are the two sliders that we have. And we can create as many sliders as we want. I'm going to go ahead and reopen the test slider. And it opens up to where I want to put in the information for my first slider. Now, what I recommend that you do is some experimenting to kind of get a feel for how this works. I'm going to go ahead and first of all experiment. I'm going to look at slide layout, and I see they have several different options here. I'll go ahead and just select image left, text right. And custom slide background color, not going to worry about that. Slide animation, there's a few different options. I usually keep it at random myself. Custom slide text color, not going to worry about that right now either. All right, I do want to select an image, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my media library, and you see I've got a few different images here. I'm just going to select this image of these beautiful flowers and click select image, and there's my background image that I've selected. Now if I want to put some text on here, which I selected image left, text right, what that means is the image is going to be full all across the screen when I look at the slider, but I might want to have some text to the right as well. So let's just go ahead and put some text in there so that you can see what it is and where it goes. I'm going to actually name each of these exactly what they are. So I'm going to call this our main title text, and I'm going to call this our small title text, and I'm going to go ahead and put in this is our description with a lot more words than the rest of these text boxes. Okay, so we got some information in there. I also have the option to create some buttons. Now the first button is going to be formatted differently than the second button, and I only have a few options of what that format looks like. I'm going to go ahead and just so that you can see what this looks like, say button 1. All right, and we're going to just create a dummy link in there and call this button 2. And maybe just come down here and look at a few more advanced custom settings that you can manipulate if you want. I can talk about where I want the actual image to be centered. I'll maybe explain that in a moment. And then also if I want to update the fonts and the size of the fonts for these text boxes that I just put text in, I have some options to manipulate them. I can also manipulate the colors, button 1 text and button 2 text. The button 1 text defaults to the theme color for the theme, and the button 2 text is transparent with a white white border around it. All right, so I'm not going to manipulate that stuff right now. Let's go ahead and at the very bottom click Add Item. And here you'll see is the information for this particular slider. I've created my first slider. Now if I wanted to create another slider, I would just scroll up here and do everything we just did over again. All right, so now let's look and see what our slider looks like. And the fact is I happen to know right off the bat that we're probably going to want to make a few adjustments. So I'm going to go back to my page. I'm actually going to refresh the page because I'm not sure if the page knows yet that we created a new slider, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom here, story page settings, and I'm going to say, let's look at a page slider. Here's our content sliders, and there's our test slider. And if it wasn't showing up, it was just simply because we created this page first. I'm going to go ahead and select the test slider, and I don't think I need to worry about anything else right now. Let's go ahead and, well, we need to make sure that our layout, let's call this a full screen layout with no sidebar. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a full width custom page as our template and select update. And now let's go to our new page and see what it looks like. Here's our slider. Okay. Now this image is quite pixelated. It looks like I probably need to get something that's a little bit more high resolution. It doesn't look very nice. Other than that, it doesn't look too bad. I don't see my button 2 text. I wonder what happened to that. And also, you'll notice that I kind of wish, well, I think the first thing I want to do is I want to change the image. So let's go ahead and go back and to our slider here. We're going to go back into settings. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that background. And select another image. And let's go ahead and select this computer. Select image. Now, I was wondering about that button that wasn't showing up, and that's because I did not put a link in. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and put a link in there, click Update Item. Now I'm going to go back to my page and refresh the page and see what happened. Okay, there we go. So I got my other button, button 1 and button 2. I can see my small text, my main title text, and my description text. You'll notice, wow, I can't even read a portion of this text. That is really not very professional, not a problem. I kind of meant for that to happen so you can see what we're going to do about it. So we're going to go back into the edit here and edit our text one more time. We're going to change the background image opacity. And 7, probably 0.7, should work pretty good. So we're going to update that item, come back over to our test slider, refresh the screen, and let's see the difference. Much, much better. So it put a little bit of a filter over the entire image, but allows this thing to pop just a little better. And so you can come in here and continue to experiment with this slider. For example, let's see what it looks like. Image centered text. You can come in here and update that item, and come in here and again refresh the screen, and on and on and on. So this is how you're going to create sliders, and it's really quite simple. You want to, again, experiment, but you can create as many sliders as you want. You go to the page and come down and select from the story page settings which slider you want, and boom, there you go, you're all set. All right, I hope this tutorial helped you on the story theme, creating a slider. Thanks so much for watching.